There are moments in Formula One when speed stops being the main weapon, when lap time fades into the background, when championships are decided not by who is fastest, but by who brakes first. And no rivalry in modern Formula One captures that truth better than Max Verstappen versus Lewis Hamilton. Aggression versus precision, instinct versus calculation, chaos versus control. Because when these two share a piece of racetrack, something far more dangerous than speed is unleashed. Pressure. And tonight we're breaking down one of the most fascinating psychological and technical battles Formula One has ever seen. Max Verstappen's aggression versus Lewis Hamilton's precision, and the hidden reason why one style cracks before the other. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this rivalry was never just about talent. It was about mental architecture. Max Verstappen arrived in Formula One like a thunderclap. From his earliest races, he didn't wait. He didn't ask permission. He attacked gaps that didn't exist yet. Where other drivers hesitated, Max committed. That aggression wasn't reckless, it was instinctual, raw, almost animalistic. He drove like someone who trusted his reflexes more than rules, more than convention, and sometimes more than physics itself. Lewis Hamilton, on the other hand, was forged in a different furnace. Precision, discipline, control. His style wasn't about forcing mistakes, it was about waiting for them. Lewis built pressure gradually, methodically, like a chess grandmaster, positioning pieces until the opponent has nowhere left to go. His lap times were clean, his inputs minimal, his racecraft surgical. 2 drivers, 2 philosophies, 1 outcome. But here's the uncomfortable truth most fans miss. Both styles are terrifying, but only one survives sustained pressure without cracking. Think about how Max defends. He doesn't defend positions, he defends territory. His aggression isn't random, it's preemptive. He places the car in ways that force rivals to make a decision before they want to. Back out or crash, and most choose to back out. Lewis, by contrast, invites the attack. He leaves the door just open enough to bait the move. He trusts his braking, his exit speed, and his race intelligence to regain the advantage later. He doesn't win battles in corners. He wins them in sequences. And here's where the psychological war begins. Aggression creates fear instantly. Precision creates doubt slowly. Max's style overwhelms in the moment. Lewis's style suffocates over time. But what happens when aggression meets precision over an entire season? Here's where things get interesting. In high-pressure wheel-to-wheel moments, Max thrives on immediacy. He reacts faster than almost anyone on the grid. His inputs are sharp, decisive, and committed. He turns uncertainty into confidence through sheer commitment. That's why younger drivers struggle against him. They hesitate, and Max doesn't. Lewis, however, thrives when the race becomes a long game. Tyre degradation, fuel saving, changing weather, strategy shifts. These are environments where precision compounds, where small advantages stack until the opponent suddenly realizes they're trapped. Now, quick pause. If you enjoy these deep dives into F1 psychology and racecraft, subscribe right now. Not because I'm begging, but because if you don't, Max might dive bomb your algorithm later and you'll never see this channel again. Just saying. Back to the battlefield. When pressure peaks, safety car restarts, late race duels, title-deciding moments, aggression and precision respond very differently. Aggression spikes adrenaline, precision stabilizes it. Max often uses pressure as fuel. His heart rate rises, his focus narrows, and his commitment intensifies. Lewis uses pressure as a filter. He slows the world down, he breathes, he calculates. And here's the key insight most fans miss. Aggression burns hotter, but precision burns longer. That's why in short-term duels, Max often looks unbeatable. But in prolonged psychological warfare, precision begins to erode aggression's margin for error. Think about mistakes. Aggressive driving styles demand perfect execution every time. One misjudged braking point, one slightly overheated tyre, one compromised exit, and suddenly aggression turns into vulnerability. Precision allows micro corrections. Lewis can be half a tenth slower for 10 laps. and still win the race because the car, the tyres and the strategy remain intact. This is why the question isn't who is faster. The real question is who brakes first under sustained pressure. And history gives us clues. When the margins are wide, aggression dominates. When the margins tighten, precision survives. Max learned this the hard way early in his career. Over time, he refined his aggression, adding calculation, patience and tyre intelligence. Lewis, meanwhile, spent years mastering restraint, knowing when not to attack. That evolution is why their clashes were so explosive. You weren't watching raw aggression versus raw precision. You were watching two philosophies evolve toward each other, meeting in the middle and colliding. Now let's talk fear, because fear decides outcomes long before checkered flags. Aggression creates fear in others. Precision creates fear in oneself. Drivers racing Max, fear being put in impossible positions. Drivers racing Lewis, fear being outsmarted, outlasted, outmaneuvered. One style forces panic, the other forces doubt. And here's a cliffhanger moment to think about. Panic causes instant mistakes. Doubt causes delayed ones. Which is more dangerous? If you're enjoying this breakdown so far, tap the like button. Not because it helps the algorithm. Okay, it does. But because it tells me you want more of these deeper, darker F1 narratives. Now let's flip the lens. Why does aggression sometimes break first? Because aggression requires constant dominance. The moment aggression hesitates, it collapses. Precision doesn't require dominance, it requires control. Lewis can lose a corner and still win the race. Max hates losing corners because his style is built on momentum and control of space. That difference matters when pressure stacks lap after lap. This is why in the tightest championship battles, the psychological load becomes heavier than the physical one. Every decision carries weight, every move is scrutinized, every risk compounds. Aggression demands courage every time. Precision demands patience, and patience under pressure is rarer than courage. But here's the twist, and this is crucial. Max didn't stay purely aggressive, he adapted. Over the years, Max added layers of precision to his aggression, tyre management, race pacing, strategic restraint. He learned when not to attack. Lewis, meanwhile, sharpened his aggression for becoming more assertive when needed. That convergence is what made their rivalry legendary. So who breaks first? The answer isn't fixed. It depends on context. In chaos, aggression thrives. In structure, precision prevails. In short races, aggression wins. In long championships, precision endures. And that's why Formula One fans still debate this rivalry endlessly. Because it exposes something uncomfortable about competition itself. There is no perfect style. There is only adaptation. Before we wrap this up, I want your opinion, and drop a comment and tell me, do you think aggression or precision is more dangerous in modern Formula One, and why? Now here's the final takeaway. Max Verstappen didn't defeat Lewis Hamilton by abandoning aggression. He defeated him by refining it. Lewis Hamilton didn't dominate eras by rejecting aggression. He controlled when to deploy it. One forces mistakes, the other waits for them. One burns bright, the other burns long. And in Formula One, the driver who survives pressure the longest usually wins. If you want to understand how this rivalry reshaped modern F1's psychology, watch the next video on your screen where we break down how 2026 regulations could reward one of these philosophies more than the other. Like the video, subscribe for more elite F1 storytelling, and I'll see you in the next one.